Hello my marvellous sausages! Now this video is going to be about getting the Microcosm Exotic Trace rifle. It's really worth getting. It hits like an absolute truck. I said truck. And it's relatively easy to get, but there is one thing you need to know. You need a fire team in order to get it, because there's lots of co-op elements to the 3 missions you need to complete. So you can either use an LFG if you're having trouble getting one, or have a pre-made one up, but there's no way to get this solo, unfortunately. Fireteam Finder is a great way to do this. Select the mission you want, go to Find at the top, go to Create, then you want to go over to Campaigns at the end. You want to select the final shape, and then from the final shape you want to select Saga, and then you can pick whichever mission you want to do, Ascent, Dissent or Iconoclasm. Then you'll create the request for Fireteam and wait for it to be filled up. Right, in order to get the ball rolling, you need to have started or at least collected the Convalesance budding mission. Now these Convalescence missions, you kind of pick them up after you're going partway through the Ergo Sum mission, you know, for the sword. Basically you have to have completed the final shape campaign, and then you get these Convalescence missions. You get, is it Underbrush or Root Bound and Greenery, which is the final one. Once you complete Greenery, then you'll get the Convalescence budding mission, and this is the mission that gets you the Microcosm Trace rifle. Now what you have to do to complete this is complete the 3 co-op missions that you can see on the map. Now these co-op missions are kind of special fireteam versions of the story missions with special mechanics within them in order for you to complete and get the Microcosm. So what I thought I'd do is go through each mission and just give you hints and tips on certain encounters, how they work, and the best way to get them completed. It's not going to be like a complete walkthrough from beginning to end, because a lot of the time it's very similar to the story mission. There's just certain encounters within those story missions that have changed. But first, let's concentrate on the Ascent mission. In regard to loadout, just use whatever you want really, because the most tricky part of doing any of these missions is the cooperative part. But just so you know, there's no locked loadouts. You can take in what you want. There's quite a few void shields in here, so I'd make sure you got something void in your loadout as well. But I just ran my prismatic warlock because I love the arc buddy setup, because I've got my getaway artist, which gives me my arc buddy. I've also got my Helion, which gives me my solar buddy, and then I've got my Bleak Watcher as well, which gives me the Bleak Watcher turret. So I get 3 things shooting stuff out all over the shop. But use whatever you feel most comfortable with. So then we're going to look at the first encounter. They're very easy to get to. You're just following the missions exactly as they all unfold. Now what I'm going to show you, the best way to show you is I've done some in-game commentary on this to show you exactly how it unfolds, because this is a really good example of how this kind of mechanic is used throughout the rest of the mission. So over to me live while I did it. So in this encounter, in order to open the doorway there, we've got to get that glowing bowlark that is down there under that shield. But the only way we can open the shield is by shooting nodes. And that's these nodes here. There's 2 of them. There's one there, and there's another one right the way down the bottom. We might just be able to see it. There we are. They've been called in anyway, but the other one is just down there. But the only way we can shoot those nodes is by shooting Mr. Front and Back and Sides, whatever his name is. We've got to shoot him in the front and the back in order to get a buff to be able to shoot these nodes. Now, there's a very, very quick time in which you can shoot them. So I'll show you now exactly how it happens. We've got a subjugator who just spawned in as well. And then, once we kill the subjugator, then we're going to get the chap we have to shoot in the front and in the back. But there's only a certain time in which you can shoot him in the front and the back. So there he is, Berserker indoctrinated by the Witness. And you can see he just put out like a dome shield there. When he does that, he's vulnerable to be shot. So you can see now he's shootable, because Scribble and DK, one of them has shot him in the front and one of them has shot him in the back. And that has to happen at exactly the same time in order for him to be killable. And then once you kill him, you get the buff, which will then allow you to shoot these nodes within a very small window of time, really. So you need to know where you've got to be to get these done. So you know there's one here, so if one of you is kind of up in position up the back at this one, because it's entirely possible, you shoot him, shoot that one, and you don't get up here in time, and you'll have to redo it, okay? It's not the end of the world. But let's show you exactly how it works now. So let's kill this chap. And then he's still got his shield down, so I think we can just shoot him now, can't we? There we go. Yeah, he's still killable. So let's just kill the git. Bang, he's gone. Synergy switches activate, so there's one to shoot there. We can shoot that one, and it also points at the other one, which is all the way up here. Synergized shot fails, bang, look, and we've missed it. That's how quick it goes. So, we need to be careful. And also, once you miss it and bugger it all up, old Tommy back in front here will turn up again, old Billy Berserker. So let's see, there's a shield out, we can shoot it from the front and the back. You can see his crit points actually light up as well. We've missed them there, so we've got to wait for him to do that again. One of us in the front, one of us in the back. There he goes again, look. One in the front, and there it is. Bang, 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 bang. Can we get him? Can we get him? Can we get him? Can we get him? It's tricky. It is tricky sometimes. You can land the shot, sometimes you don't. We're all in the front now, so you've got to kind of coordinate who's going to be at the front and who's going to be at the back. But he does it reasonably frequently. There we go, bang. Now he's gone down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let DK and Scribble kill him. And we know we've got one of those switches to shoot there. I'm going to run up here ready to shoot the other one. So I'm going to stand up here. So if Scribble and DK, if you don't mind killing old Git features. Synergy switches activate, it says. So one shot, another shot, bang. That's it. They should both be done. And now that means we can pick up the glowing bowlark from over here. Like this. Lovely, yes. See, it says volatile darkness radiates from somewhere nearby. And then we chuck that at the thingy-majiggy. Gits do come back in as well. So you've got to be careful you not kill Ed. See if I can... Oh, bugger, missed it! But you can go back and get it again. You don't have to go and shoot blokey face all the time. You can get the volatile darkness. Once that's been unlocked, it's there for you. Just be careful about all the gits, because there's quite a lot of them here, you know. Let's try that again. Get a bit closer this time. Oh, look, it's a bloody phalanxer. There we are. Bang, there we go. And there we are. And whether they were all killed or they disappeared when the door opened, that's very, very useful. So there we go. That kind of mechanic is what you're going to see pretty much through all 3 of these missions. Now, the next thing you're going to find through all this is this. It's called Fractured by the Witness. It kicks in here just as we get up to the ascending the mountainside. Now, what happens is, once that reaches 9, you die, basically. So what you need to do is switch it between your teammates within good time in order to avoid repeated deaths. Excellent. But the trouble is, of course, is that you need to know at when to switch. Now, you can't switch anywhere below 7. You can see my screen's beginning to crack there. I'm on time 6. Now I'm on time 7. Now, Scribble, who I just took it off, can't take it off me. Now, DK has to, because the previous person who took it can't grab it. So I'm times 8. So if DK takes this off me now, there we go. That's gone. And it says fracture immovable and fracture recovery there. So that means I can't take it off DK now. Scribble has to do it. So it's kind of a round robin affair, really. You just got to pass it along up the line. The thing about this, of course, is that it happens during battles and everything. It's quite a common thing to have. So I'll just be letting you know at which encounters it happens. But that's all you have to do, is make sure you pass it between folk. Yes, there we go. So for this part of the mission, you're going to find yourself moving up the hillside, passing a fracture between you so you don't get deaded. You do have an encounter where you've just got to destroy a barrier. There's no double shielded guy, though, like in before we have to shoot him in the front and the back. It's just killing the gits. We'll drop the little shield over the bollock. You can throw that at the entryway, and then you can keep moving up the hillside to the top. It's a little bit of a trek. You're fighting enemies as you go, but it's generally pretty straightforward so far. Something else you need to realise about the Fractured by the Witness, though, is that it does impede you. So once it goes above 7, you can't jump or you can't run. So if you find yourself in a jumping section and you're times 7, you're not going to be able to continue the jump until somebody comes and takes it off you. So do be aware of that, otherwise you might find yourself plummeting to your deaths prematurely. Yes, it's a total pain in the arse, basically, but there we go. So keep working your way up to the mountainside till you come right to the top. You know you're there because you get to place a rally banner. And then we're going to have another encounter here, which is going to introduce another mechanic. Now, if you do raids, not that I do, but this should be reasonably familiar to you. But it's quite a simplified version of those. This isn't too bad at all. First of all, you start the encounter by shooting the little darknessy diamond there. Then in the encounter, you're going to have 2 wyverns. Now, when you shoot these 2 wyverns, they both drop a symbol. Now, only 2 of you can see those symbols, because one of you on the fire team will be what's known as glyph touched. And when you're glyph touched, what you do is you go and activate the symbols that the other 2 people can see. So what that means is that you don't really know where things are, so you need your teammates to tell you which ones to sort out. So we've just killed one of the wyverns here. Look, you can see I've got one symbol there. They're still kicking my face in, of course. And then the other wyvern died up here. And we've got that one there, which is the witness with his massive hairdryer hairstyle. And we've got the PlayStation triangle. So you can see at the top end now of the arena, we've got 4 of these darkness doodahs splinters. Now, Scribble in this is the one who is glyph touched. So he's the only one who can pick up, you don't shoot them, he's the only one who can pick up the correct symbols. So he needs to pick up the ones that are the witness, there look, and the other one is the PlayStation triangle. So he's going to jump up now and, hang on, let me turn over. Grab 1, grab 2, bang, that's it. Doorway opened, and that's when you're going to get your rewards. That mechanic is repeated on and off through the missions as well, so just bear that in mind. Plus, of course, throughout this entire encounter, you're going to be fractured by the witness. You're going to have to pass that back and forth, so you're going to have to keep your communication open as to who is at ×7 and above by fractured by the witness, so somebody can take it off. But then also notice that only one of you is going to be able to take it as well. So there's a few things going on, so you might find that you die a couple of times while you get into the rhythm, but this is a good training for using this particular, well, both of these actual mechanics as we go through. So then just keep on making your way up, kill the large omen subjugator type person and grab the bollock, and that will then allow you into the final area. This is the final boss fight for this particular mission. Now, there's a few factors in this that you need to take into consideration. Firstly, of course, you've got revive tokens, as you've been having through, so you've got to be aware you've only got 1 each. Secondly, you're going to be glyph touched. And thirdly, you're going to be fractured by the witness. So you've got all these things happening at once. There is a rally banner that you can use before you go in, so make sure you do that and change any weapons that you may want. Now, the arena itself, it's one large red room, and there's one room on the right and one room on the left. Now, you eventually have to open both those doors to kill 2 wyverns who will give you symbols that you need to activate. And then by activating the correct symbols, you drop the shield on the Hydra in order for you to kill it. So let's just go over how this is going to work. When you first go in, you've got the Hydra turning up. Once you get the Hydra down to halfway, you'll see these keys, not these keys, these little nodes. You've got one on the right and one on the left. Now we need to shoot those by shooting that bloke in the front and the back. So that same enemy is going to turn up. However, in order to do that, first of all, you've got to kill 2 subjugators. So Hydra's shield's down to half. Then we're going to have 2 subjugators. You can see one there. Once you kill both of those, that's when Billy back in front will spawn in, okay? And as usual, same thing as earlier on in the mission, you've got to shoot him in his crit spots at the front and at the back. But remember, you can only shoot him in those crit spots when he creates a shield around him and you're standing in the shield. So you're standing in the shield, shoot him in the front, shoot him in the back, and then that'll give you enough time to kill him. Now this, of course, is where shooting those little nodes comes in, because once you've killed that berserker, in order to drop the shield so you can grab that sphere, you're going to have to shoot the 2 nodes within a very small time limit, okay? So just make sure, just when he's dead, one of you is standing, or at least within shouting distance, of one of the nodes. You can see I'm moving over here to one of the nodes just to get ready. So once he's dead, the shields will drop. Both shoot them within the amount of time, and then that'll drop the shield on the glowing little Bulak fellow, which you can then use to open the doors on the right and the left. But don't do them both at the same time. Just concentrate on one door at a time. As soon as you pick the bollock up, though, however, you will spawn in enemies as well, so be careful of that. There we go. I'm going to fling it into the door there, and then we're going to run across. Now, the bollock always remains in the center, which is why I say you can run over and open the other one as well. But just do one at a time so you know where you are. So once you kill this resident warder here, and the symbol becomes apparent, one of you will become glyph touched, and the other 2 will be the ones who see the glyphs. The glyphs. You can see this one is a sliced in half ghost, okay? It does seem to be random who is glyph touched, though. We tried to figure it out, but it didn't seem to have any rhyme or reason to it. Let me know in the comments if you think you've got that sussed, because we don't really know how it works. Although it is irrelevant, to be perfectly honest, because as soon as one person's glyph touched, then you just know, you just carry on as you go. So there we go. We've destroyed the barrier to the second room. Kill the wyvern and get that symbol. Now, the glyph touched person has to pick up the correct symbols, And the symbols are located in the 4 corners of the main room of the red room. You can see I'm looking at one here. There's one in the far corner over there. And there's 2 in the opposite corners as well. Okay, so whatever symbols your teammates shout out to you if you're glyph touched, grab one, then the other. What that does is then drop the shield of the Hydra, and then you can finish the Hydra off. Lovely, and that's it. Mission completed. This is really good training because this does actually come into play in the next 2 missions as well. Don't forget to grab your stuff. Well done. Brilliant. You're the 3rd of the way through. That's the Ascent mission done. Now we're on to the Descent mission, or Dissent mission, actually. So you just want to pick that baby. It's the middle one there. You might be lucky and it's going to be the one which is going to give you some extra goodies in the pinnacle. Now, this is quite an easy one to follow through, really. I don't mean in a disgusting way. You start off with a lovely dinosaur head. You want to make your way through. You're going to have the same things that occur. So you're going to get the fracture. Is it the fracture of the witness? Yes, which is going to slow you down, which is going to pass between the 3 of you. And we're also going to be using the node shooting aspect of it as well. There aren't any glyphs in this one. There's no glyph touch, so it's simpler in that regard. Now, it's part of the normal mission, but just in case you do forget, you can get stumped sometimes in this one. You have to summon Taj in front of the darkness statues in order to progress. Like in that part there, we summon Taj, then that summon these 2 guys here, which drop the door to the left, and then we just continue on our way. It's very straightforward route-wise. If you're getting lost, just get your ghost outlook, and it'll mark the way you need to go. Now then, you're first going to come across a lovely subjugator here, but nothing happens very much with the subjugator. It's just a matter of killing the git, and then speak to Taj, and then the doors will drop open. And if you're lucky like me here, you can get the new class items dropped from these chests, provided you finish the Dual Destiny mission. Now you can see we've got the Howling Plague of the Witness. That is part of the mission as normal, and you can see I've got Fractured by the Witness as well, that we're passing back and forth. Now, once you get into this room here, you know where you're in the correct place, because you can see one of the little nodes that you can shoot that is shielded. There's also another one which is down below here. So what we need to do is summon that Berserker, Tommy Two Sides, shoot him in the 2 sides, and then shoot the 2 switches in order to exit the level. So what you have to do is just kill the gits until he turns up. There he is. Look, once you killed enough gitage, he turns up as normal. Exactly the same mechanics as we've been used to in the last ones. Shoot him within his shield from front and back. Then once you do that, make sure one of you is near one of the switches. Particularly, I recommend the one below. So I was waiting at the one below, and then once I saw the shield disappear, you just shot it, and it says synergized shot successful, and that's it. Then we get the door to open. The way to go is back out at the top. There, look, so we just jump a little way around, and we're through there, and we're off to the next stage. Pretty straightforward, but if you find that your way is blocked, again, don't forget to summon Taj at the darkness statue, so the doorway will open, and then you can progress onwards. There are some prismatic enemies as you're going through as well, so make sure you've got a prismatic available. But there are prismatic pools that you can just stand into. I don't know if you know it, but if you've got the prismatic subclass on, if you stand in one of those pools, it'll charge your prismatic ability a lot quicker than if you didn't have it charged, okay? So you want to keep on coming through now until you get to this Rally the Flag option. And now we've got 3 main rooms in here, and it's the same mechanics. We just have to shoot those switches. But each room to the side is paired up with one of the switches in the center. So there's 3 switches in the center and 3 switches in 3 paired rooms. So first of all, we've gone to this room to the right. Now what you have to do is kill the witch that's in the room, or the wizard. Once you kill the witch or the wizard, I never know what they are. Witches or wizards? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, once you kill that git, then old Tommy Two Sides will turn up. Hang on, let's just kill the older... Oh, it's an acolyte here. Oh, it's a bloody wizard, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. There comes Tommy Two Sides. So, one of you needs to... You need to kill this guy. One of you needs to stay in here to shoot that switch you just saw in the corner of the room. And I'm hanging outside. So once the shield drops, look, I go bang, bang. Both switches are activated. And that's that set finished with. Now, all you have to do is repeat that for the other 2. So, you want to go in, kill the wizard, get Tommy Two Sides kill Ed. and then one of you wait outside to shoot the relevant node like that. Bang. That's the second set done. And then you want to do the same thing for the third set. Ba-boom, ba-boom. And that's the third set done as well. What that does is summon a Tormentor. You can see me scuttling away while I... There we go. Pass off my, my Fractured by the Witness. Remember, you're doing that all the way through this as well. So then this Terminator battle, they are like Terminators. It absolutely will not stop. Yes. Kill your Tormentor, and then you want to drop down the hole in the center. Don't forget to pick up your lovely chest full of goodies as we're going. And then we're going to be moving our way through to what is in effect the final encounter for this particular one. On the way to the final encounter, though, you're going to come across, well, it's not really jumping puzzles as such. I jumped down there by mistake. That's the only bit that confused me. You got to keep on going up and jump across. Look, there we go, and jump through here. And then you always get your ghost out if you're not too sure where you're supposed to be going. And then we're going to be making our way over to this red area where we're going to come across our final boss battle. Then, once you get to the rally flag, this is the final battle. Now, what we've got here is a large, what do you call him, Scorn type fellow. He looks a little bit like Thick Rule. There he is, look, wandering around the center. And then on either side, there's a room at the bottom and a room at the top. Each of these holds a subjugator. So it says there, eliminate the 2 subjugators. So you got to go in, kill both the subjugators. Be careful, there's an electrical ground attack in this, which can cause area of effect damage. So keep an eye out for a blue circle appearing on the ground. Once you've killed both subjugators, one of you will be marked Granted Aegis. As you can see, I am there. Then what happens is you go to the center and you retrieve the shield. Once the shield's charge is full, you want to activate the super while you're pointing at the big git in the center. That will strip his shield and then it'll allow you to have a damage phase. As you can see here, look, I'm giving him a bit of a kick in with my linear fusion. Shots, he's not very tough, so it doesn't take very long to knock him down to half. And then all you do is start it again. So you kill the subjugators, one at the top, one at the bottom. And then once the one at the bottom has been killed, one of you will be marked Granted Aegis. In this case, it's going to be DK. She's grabbing the shield there, look. She's shooting the shield off Gittage. Once the super is charged up, you just activate your super. Once your super is full, you'll see it build up quite quick. There we go. His shield's now down, and we can all hammer the git, and that's him done as well. I've got to be honest, it's relatively simpler, this one, than Dissent, the first one we just did. I mean, Ascent. Then all you got to do is leg it out as quick as possible. If one of you dies, don't worry, one of you will be able to pull you through, because the ground does disappear, look, as you're going. It's a pretty straightforward way to follow, and you've probably done it already in the story mission, so you're going to have a vague idea of where you're going. But don't forget as well, you're going to be fractured in this. So if any of you are ×7 and running through this particular part, you're not going to be able to make the jumps, you're going to die. So make sure you're in a bit of a close knit there and you're swapping them back and forth. Luckily in my case, a DK had gone up straight ahead, so I did die here. I fell short, but it doesn't matter, it just pulled me straight forward. And then, so they are, see, joining allies, look, and that just pulled me straight forward. I went up steps, and then we just completed it. It's not too bad at all. There we go. I had my weekly challenge and everything, and here's the final staircase with the mission end. So that wasn't too bad at all. As long as you know where you're going for the completion at the end, that's fine. So mechanics-wise, that one's not too bad. And now we move on to the final mission, which is in fact the final campaign mission, Iconoclasm, which is probably the most difficult of the 3. Or is it? Well, anyway, now this uses slightly different mechanics to the previous mission, but you don't have the Fractured by the Witness cobblers in this one. So I'm just going to take you through the key stages of it and just give you some advice onto the certain parts. First of all, when you get to this part, you're going to have a really massively powerful Tormentor, yes. And you just got to kick his face in. Basically, there's no special methods. There's no nodes to shoot. It's just a matter of kicking the Tormentor's face in until it's dead. There we go. Tormentor killed. Lovely stuff. Now the next part is going to be doing a bit of the shooting of the nodes again. So once you come to this area, you can see very clearly you're going to have one floating node up here. Then just down here, you're going to find Tommy Two Sides is going to beam in down the bottom here. So what you have to do, of course, is shoot Tommy Two Sides from within his shield. One in the front, one in the back. Then when you kill him, he's going to have a short window in order to shoot the other node. Now the other node is around, well, you can see it from here, but you can't shoot it. Your best bet is to jump over to it, okay? So watch now, I'm going to knock down the health to a certain amount, and then I'm going to run over to the part where the node is. It's just off to the right here. You can just see it there, look, in the background. Hang on a second, there we go. Give it a bit more of a kick in here. There we go, and I'm going to run off now to the node. There we are, you can see it's just flashing on that side. And I got there just in time, look, and ba-boom, there we go. Node activated, all done. Now, of course, you've probably run this mission before, so you are aware of some of the mechanics. And one of the things that you've got are these nuts that you shoot here. We call them walnuts in our game, yes. And it shields you from the choking air for around 45 seconds. So that mechanic is going to be used quite a lot as we go through. In fact, it's going to be used now completely until the end. So just shoot the timer. It's almost, in a way, it affects all of you, though. So you do need to make sure that you all shoot the nut. And when you shoot the nut, make sure you're standing within the ring of influence around it so you all get the buff at the same time. Okay, so we just move through some of the cooler looking areas here. You come to your first rally banner, slap that in, and then this room is going to give you a template for the next room, really. What you have to do here again is shoot symbols in order to summon the boss and kill the boss, okay? So the first thing you need to do is to get these nodes shot. So, of course, shooting the nodes, you need to shoot Tommy two sides. Look, there's one up there, and there's one over on the other side of the room. So when Tommy two sides comes in, give him a shooting party front and back. And then once you've done that, you'll have a brief window to shoot both the nodes. There we go, he's dead, and you're going to be able to shoot the nodes. I'm shooting this one on this side, and one of my compadres has just shot the other one. Now, what that does is it brings in that little darkness splinter that you need to shoot. And shooting that darkness splinter means that two of you have to go downstairs to get the symbols by killing knights, and one of you is glyph touched and stays upstairs in order to collect the symbols that downstairs tells you. So when you're downstairs, it's kind of like a sort of small mazy area, and you're going to get two knights. Once you kill the knights, they drop the symbols, and you just read them out to the person up above. So there we go, you can see the knight down here. Now then, the mechanic with the walnuts is down here as well, where you need to shield yourself from darkness. So when you reshoot it, look, you'll get a 45-second rebuff. We've killed that guy there, and we can see that one is Witness Wavy Hair Timotei advert. So that's one, and then we'll go and get the other one and shout them to the person upstairs, who then looks for the splinters, which are all up on the higher levels, okay? So you just go and say, right, in this case it was pyramid ships, and it was Timotei Witness. We just got to go and shoot not shoot them, we've got to pick up both of the splinters with the correct symbols. Very simple, really. We've done it before. Then once you do that, that summons the old boss. Then all you got to do is deliver the kick-ins and smash his face in. Not too bad at all, but this upstairs, downstairs malarkey is what you're going to find in the next major encounter as well. A little tip for you in regard to the knights downstairs. They do disappear. Kind of, you dish out a little bit of damage and they disappear. They actually are standing in the same place that they disappear. So all you got to do is just kind of wait around until they reappear again. Don't go running around looking for them. They haven't teleported, they've just gone invisible. So make sure you just sort of hang around the area where they went invisible, and then once they pop back again, you can finish them off. Oh yes, and once you finish them off and you've got the two symbols and you've read them out to your colleague upstairs, don't forget as well, you need to jump through a portal, but that is just marked, well, with a marker, obviously, in the old good old grey diamond, so you know which way to go. But that only pops up once the chap or chapess upstairs has picked up both symbols. That's that knight turnip killed. Now we're going to go onwards to the ogre encounter. Now, this ogre boss is killed in 2 stages as normal, and you're using very similar mechanics to what we just did in the previous room. First of all, you're going to have blights appear on the left and the right, so you need to destroy those blights first of all. Be aware you've got prismatic gits in there, so you want to make sure you're charged up with your prismatic so you can kill them. It can be a bit of an ad fest up here as well, so make sure you've got enough something for dealing with ads. And also, there are tormentors who come in a little bit later on, so you need to be able to have access to something to kick their faces in to make your life a lot easier. Right, so you've killed both those blights. What happens is a darkness splinter appears in the middle. Once that gets shot, a couple of things happen. First of all, one of you becomes glyph touched, so that means you're going to be the symbol collector, and you're going to remain up top. The other two who aren't glyph touched are going to jump through the portal and go downstairs and kill the enemies. There's 2 knights down there basically, and you kill those knights. They will reveal symbols, which you shout up to your chum upstairs, who will then collect the symbols in the correct order. Actually, it doesn't matter about order, just collect the correct symbols, because there's usually a choice of 4 upstairs. They're very easy to see. They're up on the platforms, kind of where the blights used to be, but you can see the splinters glowing. So in this case, we got a pyramid, and I can't remember what happened when I killed this kid here. We had it's probably flowy head witness, because it always... Oh no, it's a triangle. Look, that's nice. Well, anyway, make sure your chum upstairs collects those 2 symbols. Once that happens, a portal will appear down with you guys down here, and then you'll jump through, and then you're going to be able to collect the Aegis shield. So one of you is granted a Aegis. You can see I've been granted this. I'm downstairs, so I'm going to leg it through the portal, which gets marked once the symbols have been collected. Here we go. So as I jump through, the shield is then floating in the center. Look, so you need to collect the shield, as we did in one of the previous missions. And what you've got to wait for your super to charge up. As you can see, mine is charging here. And then get the git in your sights, blast away, boom, and the shield will drop, and then you'll be able to administer kick-ins to get them down halfway. Just remember as well, if you're glyph touched and you're staying up the top while the 2 of you are downstairs, there's quite a bit of a scrap up there, and you do have tormentors as well, so make sure you don't get killed up the top, otherwise it's a reset time for everyone and you've got to start again, so that can be a bit of a git. So there we go. So 2 of you go downstairs, collect the symbols, come back upstairs, shoot the Aegis shield, and then kill the ogre. It actually doesn't have anything that much different from the original Iconoclasm mission, really, but it still can be a little bit tricky. Don't forget as well that when they do disappear, the knights downstairs, they are actually staying in the same place. So just hang around until they come back up again, and then you can shoot them. Because this area underneath is a little bit bigger than the area that we had in the last encounter. You can see me here just collecting the symbols. Look, so there's 2 sets on the left and a set on the right. And there's this is from a different run, so I picked up a different set of symbols here. But then once you pick them up, the team can pile back up. In this case, DK collected the Aegis shield, and we shot and kicked their faces in. So it's not too bad. That encounter is pretty much spot on to what it usually is. Right, and now we're on our way to the final encounter. Now, there are a few extra mechanics layered on top of what we normally have in this final encounter, when you're facing off against the Witness. So what you've got normally is you've got the 2 subjugators who come in, and you've also then got the Aegis shield that you have to pick up to destroy the subjugators' shields in order to trigger the different damage phases. So what you normally do is you go in, subjugator turns up, you shoot their health down until they're about half, they get shielded. Then you shoot a walnut, or one of you shoots a walnut, runs in, gets the Aegis shield, comes back out, shoots the shield off the subjugator, and then uses the defending stance to create a bubble of energy around you, which protects you from the Witness's storm. Once that happens, then you can put the shields down on the first subjugator. You pick up a sword, go in, smash a statue, come back out, rinse and repeat until the Vanguard turns up and saves our asses. Lovely. That's the normal mission. But on top of that layer now, first of all, we've got nodes. Now you can see the nodes here, which is, well, there's one to the right there, and it's the same mechanic. A Tommy Two Sides turns up. You've got to shoot him in the front and the back, and then there's a node next to the Tommy Two Side in the little back area, and there's a node out here that you have to shoot as well. And once you've done that, then that allows you to pick up the shield, which you then can use to destroy the shields of the subjugator, and rinse and repeat, really. So that's all you have to do here. So for the first subjugator, we've got the node on the right-hand side. Once his health is down, then you need to go and shoot the walnut, so you become darkness protected. And then you want to go into the room on the left-hand side, which is where the old Tommy Two Sides will turn up. One of you stays on the inside, and one of you stays on the outside to shoot the switch. There we go, we've shot the walnut. The shield is down, allowing us to go through. And there's a Tommy Two Sides, who we then have to shoot from the front and the back, and then this node will become exposed in here, and there's also a node out there as well. So the best thing you can do is have 2 of you in here dealing with this idiot, and 1 of you outside staying alive, avoiding the Witness's attacks, and shoot the node when this guy gets killed. Just give them the nod, and that'll sort it all out. Don't forget as well, you've got the walnuts that you need to shoot to keep your shield from darkness going as well. Okay, so there we go. That node's shot. The other node's shot. We've got synergized shot successful on the bottom. And then DK is picking up the Aegis shield. We're going to come in here, look, and just get the shielded from darkness buff one more time. Just so we can get out, because that's blocking the doorway. Then we're running out here, and you're going to see then the super of the shield is charged up. Kick gets faces in. Then we go bang, DK shoots, shield is dropped. Then you protect with the shield. You get like a witness's firestorm, and then you continue with the kick-ins until the subjugate is dead. Be aware of the witness's attacks. You see it says the witness unleashes an attack, and make sure you got yourself in cover behind there. The first subjugator is stasis, and it can sometimes shoot those really annoying crystals that are around you. Make sure you get out of the way of those crystals. They're utterly devastating. They'll kill you off. Don't forget as well, there's revives in this as well. You've got 1 revive token each. There we go. Git is down. Sword appears. Remember, you just pick the sword up, and then you pop downstairs, smash a statue, and then you jump back out, and then carry on. So, when you come back up now, the node will have moved. It's not, as you look at the front of the arena from the way you come in, the second node now is on the left-hand side, not the right-hand side. It's very easy to see, though. So what me and DK are going to do now is to go in here. You have to bring the health down, of course, of the second subjugator. This one's a strand subjugator, so just be aware that he can string you up and shoot you in the face and suck you off and all kinds of various little things. So get his health down to half so the shield comes up again. There we go. Shield is up. That means Tommy Two Sides now appears on this side. So you have to kill him front and back again. Make sure you're standing within the dome shield, remember as well. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do it. What I'm doing here, look, is I'm just showing you there's the other node across the other side, yeah? So that's where the that's what the person on the outside needs to be in order to administer the kick-ins. So there we go, Tommy Two Sides is dead, Aegis shield is picked up. I'm just going to shoot the walnut here so we don't die because we've gone to shielded from darkness. Keep an eye on that timer when it's counting down. And then we're going to run out into the centre and do the same thing again. So there we go, shield is charged up. Oh no, strung up by strand! What a nightmare, eh? Hang on, just pop you down out of there and badoom. Hopefully that shield will have dropped on him. Let's have a quick check. Oh no, sometimes you can miss. If you miss, don't worry, you're just going to wait for the super to charge up again and then unleash it again. Ooh, nice. Bit of backsplash there. And then don't forget, you're going to have the protection or otherwise you're going to get killed. What's quite nice as well, you can actually damage the subjugator from within the shield here, but don't use any explosive weapons. Use direct weapons. They'll be able to shoot straight through. I was using a rocket sidearm there. That was just reflecting damage back at us in the dome. Well, anyway, once you've killed that subjugator, the second one, pick up the sword, smash it up, and there it is. Now, what happens then, of course, is that the Vanguard come in and save your asses, which is very, very nice indeed. I love that bit. That was totally bloody great. And only the final thing remains. Pick up the Aegis shield. This is the mission as normal. And protect yourselves as you're running. I believe I died here, because that's the sort of thing I do. I think I actually killed myself. With some form of grenade launcher or something. I'm dead. So yeah, you can see DK and Scribble making your way up to the top. Once you get to the marker, that's when the cutscene happens. And that's it. You've done it. All 3 of the co-op missions. Well done. Yes, excellent. And then you can see you've got the completion of the Convalescence budding quest. And now you need to return to the Arbor of Light. This, of course, is in the Pale Heart, and you'll see the old exotic mission symbol there. Just go and speak to Mika-10, and there we go. You can collect your Microcosm Trace Rifle. Heavy, kinetic. It's bloody lovely. Inflicts a hell of a lot of damage. It does chew a lot of ammo really, really quickly, but it really is hard-hitting, and it's coming in incredibly useful for lots of encounters that we did. It really came in useful, actually, when I did Vault of Glass for the first time a couple of weeks ago and got myself my Vex Mythoclast. It was excellent. Really, really good. I can't recommend it enough. Well, there we go. I hope you found that useful. A complete breakdown there of all 3 missions. If you want to get the Kvostov, I've got a mission for that as well. A guide for that one as well. This is a long one, but if you haven't done it, I've got every step broken down here. So if you want to have a little start, have a look at that. I'll leave that linked here at the end. And once again, a massive thank you to Death Knell and Scribble Wizard, who were there nursing me through it. Thank you, guys. Your help is always super duper appreciated. You're bloody marvellous, you are. If you enjoyed the vid, a like would be utterly fantastic, and let me know in the comments as well how you found this mission. It was on the director like all the others. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall speak to you all again very soon. Sausage hurt.